Children display a wide variety of behaviors as they grow and develop. These types of behaviors may be positive or negative. In the early years of childhood, it is quite normal to see negative behavior when it comes to a child expressing his or herself. As the child is in the process of developing, it is important to recognize the negative behavior and teach and model correct behavior so that children may learn to respond correctly. This presentation will define aggression and share the strategies to manage and eliminate this behavior. A short story will also be provided to help children understand the effects of aggressive behavior.
Aggressive behavior. According to Unit 7 of Early Childhood Family Studies, aggressive behavior can be defined as any behavior that causes physical or mental injury to a person or animal.
According to Behaviour 2005, aggression can be encouraged or fostered by a number of elements, including the contribution of individual factors, the effects of disturbed family dynamics, parental characteristics and parenting practices, the impact of exposure to violence, and psychiatric or medical syndromes.
Reasons for aggressive behavior. Children can be aggressive because they feel left out, they do not know the right way to behave, they need some adult attention, they are frustrated because they cannot communicate, they are copying behavior they have observed, they are protecting themselves from other children. According to Erik Erikson's stage of development, children who display aggressive behavior are at the initiative versus guilt stage. This is the third stage of Erik Erikson's theory of psychosocial development. Children can develop a sense of guilt when they are being restricted by their parents from interacting with others and exploring their world. It can hinder their development to exercise good self-control or have a conscience towards their behavior. Children can also display aggressive behavior at the fourth stage of Erik Erikson's stages of development, which is the industrious versus inferiority stage. At this stage, children start to compare themselves to others and may feel they don't measure up. They will develop a sense of inferiority and inadequacy if they are not being encouraged and supported. When the child starts to doubt themselves, they will show aggressive behavior by lashing out. They will have a hard time getting along with their peers.
Strategies to help eliminate aggression. Help your child find new ways to deal with their anger. You should encourage your child to use words to express their feelings rather than using their body to fight. Ask your child to explain to you what they are angry about. Talking to your child about what has gotten them angry will help them to calm down. Two, don't spank as a form of discipline. Some parents spank or hit their child as punishment. A child who is physically punished can begin to believe this is the correct way to handle people when they don't like their behavior. Physical punishment can reinforce a child's aggression towards others. Three, give comfort and affection. Let your child know that you are genuinely caring about their situations and feelings. Toddlers can be comforted by your physical presence, as can other kids facing a frustrating situation.
Little Chris and his terrible fists. Little Chris had a problem with his fists. He would use them to get whatever he wished. When he wanted a toy that sister had, he would start to behave very bad. He would hit and scream and roll and fight and kick his feet with all his might. Oh, what a terrible sight! Mommy and Daddy would shout and sister would cry and pout. When he didn't feel like sharing at school, he would make up his own rules. When the others didn't play along, he would pinch the girls and punch the boys. He would shout and scream and break the toy. When the teachers came, he would make more noise, so then they really had no choice. Miss May would give him the look and squeeze him just as hard as she could. Miss Lee would look into his eyes and shout at him and make him cry. Then Chris would feel really bad and he'd sit in a corner, really sad. One day things began to change. Sister ran away when he wanted to play. He thought that she was just having a bad day. But at school the children ran away too, and the teachers turned their heads when he walked in the room. Chris wondered why they were acting this way, when all he wanted to do was play. He looked around for a friend, but no one wanted to stay. He was all by himself every day. One day, a new teacher came to the school. She was tall and pretty and really cool. She looked at Chris and said, "I need your help. Come here, let's pack these books on this shelf." As they packed, Miss Joy said, "I have an idea. Let's build a tower in the play area." So up went the tower up to the sky, blocks stacked on blocks, very, very high. But Chris changed his mind when he couldn't reach any higher and smashed the tower with his mighty fist power. Miss Joy jumped up, hands to her mouth. Chris folded his arms and started to pout. He knew what was coming next and he had to get out. But Miss Joy took his hand and said with a smile, "I won't hurt your feelings, but you have hurt mine. It's not nice when you kick and scream and shout and fight. It makes everyone want to cry. But I know you can be a good boy. So let's try again with another toy. So we'll play and take turns nicely, and you won't try to punch or fight me." So little Chris changed, and when at play, he tried his best to do things the right way. His teachers smiled and his friends they came back, and his little sister even wanted to share her snacks. Mommy and Daddy were very happy too. You see, when you're nice to people, they're nice to you. So little Chris never punched or pinched again. He only used his hands to make new friends. Are very expressive, but sometimes expressing themselves may be difficult as they are still in the process of developing. It is responsibility of parents to model correct behavior so children may learn by observing them. Adults should also refrain from corporal punishment as this does more harm than good. True discipline will teach children rather than hurt them. It is also very important to ensure that children know they are loved and supported, as this will encourage them to express their feelings positively.